Hey, welcome to Crazy Tech Story Tuesday, new series. Hope you like it. Today's story is going to be about that time a guy stayed up late and then ended up buying Google.com for like $12. Who is the guy? How'd he do it? And how was this even possible? Well, gather around, gamers, because you're about to find out. So the year was 2015. It was a September night just like any other. Most people were already sound asleep dreaming of fond memories from the summer that had recently passed, but not Sanmay Ved. He was up doing what he loved the most, playing around on the good old computer. Now that particular night, he was trying to learn more about the Google Domains interface when he decided to try something slightly unusual. He selected the search bar, typed in google.com, and curiously clicked Search Domains. Being not only a tech-savvy guy, but also a former Google employee, Ved knew that the query shouldn't result in anything serious. Not just shouldn't, it couldn't. But he did it anyway. And to his surprise, there it was. Google.com, with the green smiley face and everything. Available for purchase for only $12 a year. This is the part of the story where I kind of like to imagine this guy feeling like he just found a briefcase that belonged to the mob and like nervously thinking to himself, should I take it? Should I leave it? Will they know?
How would they know?
So what does he do? I mean, come on. What would you do? Firmly believing that an error message would pop up at any second and that this would all turn out to be just some weird UI mistake, Ved decided to take the next step. Hesitantly, he clicked on the Add to Cart button, and then the weirdest thing happened. Instead of getting interrupted, a little green checkmark popped out of nowhere, and his cart got updated with a peculiar new item: the domain name for the world's most viewed website. His palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms were heavy. As he dragged the cursor across the screen, his mouse had never felt heavier. "What are you doing?" a voice inside his head asked. "I'm buying Google.com, bitch." And just like that, he actually did.
Have you ever found a deal online that you just, no matter what, couldn't pass up?
Well, how about spending $12 to buy one of the most popular websites in the world? Sanmay Ved is the man who owned Google.com for one hot minute.
Dude, I swear, some people will just go about their everyday lives and then just have the wildest shit happen to them out of the blue. Like, I'll go to Hollywood, and the most interesting thing that'll happen to me will be some homeless guy asking for money, and then him getting mad when I tell him that I don't have any cash on me. Meanwhile, people will book a plane ticket and end up sitting next to Brad Pitt. I know this is a bit of a tangent, but just comment down below if you know somebody like this. Back to the story. So what happened next? Well, Sanmay Ved had just bought the Google.com domain, and he had the receipts to prove it. He received transaction confirmations, a couple of Google no reply emails, and even his console showed updates that typically occur if and when control over a domain is really granted. Which apparently it had, but not for long. Because shortly thereafter, Ved received a new email from Google Domains, this time informing him that his order had been canceled. Now, Google was able to do this so swiftly because the order had been made through their own service, but had the purchase been made through a registrar they had no control over, and had the buyer been somewhat difficult, well, again, they would have eventually gotten their domain back, but it would have been a bit more complicated. How it was even possible that Google.com was available for purchase in the first place is not 100% clear. Furthermore, there was also somewhat of a debate about whether or not Ved had actually owned the domain for that brief minute. Of course, Google never disclosed what really happened that night, but according to WHO API founder Goran Duškić, it all may have been just a mirage. So first, regarding the ownership. Naturally, when you buy something, you kind of expect to own it, right? But in this particular case, it's a bit more complicated, and it actually doesn't have anything to do with anti-consumer practices. In fact, it's actually not that complicated at all. At the time, Google's registration of the domain was set to expire in 2020, and according to that publicly verifiable fact, Ved could not have taken ownership through the kind of actions he took. But then, how was he able to purchase it? Well, according to Duškić, it most likely happened due to a failure during a domain availability check. According to his explanation, the checking system in Google Domains basically failed to get the right information about availability, so the interface allowed the purchase of a falsely available domain.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
At this point, you might be wondering, whatever happened to Ved? Well, all this actually turned out to be quite the wholesome experience for him. Some might even say life-changing.
I was expected it to stop at some point in time, but it never stopped. I said, okay, you are the owner, so here's all the information regarding google.com, administrative emails, etc. And it started giving me the information. But in 1 minute, Google caught it and revoked the access.
Not long after the incident, Google offered him a symbolic amount of money through their security reward program. But when he told them to give it to charity, they doubled the amount and donated it to the Art of Living India Foundation. The next year, he started working for Google again, and whether or not what happened had anything to do with that, well, we just don't know. So what's the moral of the story here, gamers? Well, I'm not really sure. Let me think about it. I guess if you find a briefcase that looks like it might belong to the mob, just leave it alone. It's not worth it. But if you ever happen to stumble upon an available domain that by all accounts looks like it should belong to a big tech giant, well, I don't know. It's your call. But that's it for today. I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, let's do this again sometime. Who knows? Maybe we'll even do it on a Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay strong.